Hi, Dr. Paul Haider, Master Herbalist and Spiritual Teacher here. Well, you know, so many people have terrible feet. It's absolutely kind of appalling, really, tell you the truth. And I used to have a lot of calluses and stuff on my feet at one time, too. That was many years ago. And then when I broke my foot many years ago, I ended up, let's take another look at this. We need to change a few things. And what I found is, ended up my feet were, they're as smooth as a baby's butt right now, I'm telling you. And they do, they are just so uh, smooth, and the skin is so nice, and I don't have any buildup of calluses or anything, and no nail problems. And it really comes down to learning how to care for your feet. If you do have calluses, you can remove them by using like a little pumice stone like this one, and you can rub that on them, and also a little emery board type of thing you can use, and that does a great job. And but the most important thing of all is to change a person's shoes. No more wearing tight shoes. I wear extra wide shoes, and you want shoes that support you and they don't slip up and down. Calluses are there because they're trying to protect your foot, and whenever you have a callus, that means your shoes are not fitting well. So we really need to allow ourselves to try shoes on and have a substantial shoe, you know what I mean? And having flip-flops and things like that, they really are not supporting the foot, and we need to have something with an arch in it also. And I see a lot of people wearing really like flip-flops and flat-soled shoes, and they wonder why their knees and their back hurt. I can tell you why. We need an arch. And there are companies out there that you can go to online, and they make arch supports, and they send you a box, and they have this special foam in it. You push your foot down into it, and they make a special arch just for your foot that's customized to your foot. And it does a really great job. And you can order those. In about 2 weeks, you have them, and they fit like a glove, and they really do a great job of supporting your back and all of your spine and your legs. And that really helps to, make your feet happy. There's no doubt about that. And also, you need a substantial shoe. You know what I mean? You need something that actually, after I support you in some way, after I broke my foot, I could not wear flimsy shoes, anything that was barely felt good, but wasn't really substantial. It really wasn't good for my ankle and also my foot. So it's really important to get a substantial shoe that really does a good job of holding your foot in the right way. Also, you really need to moisturize your feet, which is a good idea. And one of the things I use on a regular basis is good old olive oil, organic olive oil. And it does a great job. And I do this in the shower. I actually just leave a little cup of olive oil in the shower, up on the soap stand. And I reach in and put a little bit on my feet. Actually, I put it all over my body. And that does a great job of moisturizing the skin. And then take your regular glycerin soap. That's what I use all the time. Plant-based glycerin soap, and suds it off, all the excess oil off, and boy, you're good to go. And your feet will feel like a baby's bottom. There's no doubt about that. And that you need to, for you ladies, you need to let go of those high heels. I know that's a tall order, but the studies show that really are not good for your back, and in the long run is going to cause a huge amount of complications, especially for your knees also. Not good, not good whatsoever. Also, one thing is to change a person's posture. I think it's really important. I remember going, boy, I was in my probably my late teens or early 20s, and I went to a chiropractor because my back was hurting. And one thing that chiropractor said really impressed me, and I've used it ever since, is to don't lock your knees. You know what I mean? If you're like this is your knee, and you're like this all the time, this is just pounding the cartilage inside your foot every time you take a walk. And now if you're like this all the time and then you flex it when you're walking, of course there's no pounding on that cartilage, and it really helps to alleviate problems that are going to might come up later if you're always in hyperextension on that joint. And so it's another thing. Everything is connected. There's no doubt about it. Everything is connected. And so you want a shoe that also feels good. And, you know, I kind of drive my wife crazy when we go shoe shopping. You know, I don't have to buy really expensive shoes whatsoever. In fact, I buy inexpensive shoes, but they fit well. And I'll go through a lot of different shoes till I find one that just really fits well, and then I might buy a couple pair because boy, these are good. I might not find them again. And that way I don't have to worry about buying shoes. I have the shoes for a while. And you want to make sure that it fits well. You don't want it chafing in anywhere. And you don't want it too tight. You know, if your toes are all mashed up, I've seen people with toes that look like this, you know, and that's from wearing those tiny shoes, especially the women, you know, trying to make those pointy shoes. Not good. You really need to let those toes be natural. And also, it's about changing socks. Socks are really important, you know what I mean? I think it's really important to change socks twice a day, or at least in the middle of the day, once a day. So you put them on in the morning, and about noon, 2 o'clock or so, change your socks again, because we get a lot of moisture, we get a lot of sweat going on in those socks, and all kinds of athlete's foot and different fungus and different viruses and bacteria start growing, and it's not good for the foot. And so change your socks. Also, I recommend you change your shoes. In fact, other people recommend this too, and I actually change my shoes in the middle of the day. And let your shoes air out. How can they become dry if you wear them all the time? It's just not possible. So wear them for a little while and then change shoes and put on another pair, because they'll be dry, and a good environment for your foot to be able to survive in a wonderful environment and be able to make your foot feel at home. And so that's a great thing to do, is change shoes and socks often, especially if you live in a tropical climate or a moist climate, especially the Midwest and down near Florida and in the East Coast where it has a lot of humidity. I think it's really important that a person change their shoes and socks quite often. You know, if you're one of these people who wears socks for 3 or 4 days, that's asking for trouble. There's absolutely no doubt about it. So it's about allowing yourself to, you know, keep a lot of socks on hand. Don't worry about it. You know, just buy socks in bulk and change your socks, and also buy socks which have a big thickness to them. You know, the little tiny thin socks. I mean, I hate the little tiny thin socks. They're really not good for the feet. They don't have any support as far as, you know, keeping pressure points away from the foot. You need something that is substantial to allow yourself to, you know, end up with that baby bottom looking foot that you have, a nice skin on your foot, and a good substantial sock is important for that also. Also, it's very important that you allow yourself to check your feet and check your nails also, you know what I mean? And it's important that you cut your nails straight across on your toes, and that way they grow out. If you need to, you can go to a podiatrist and have them cut them, but you just got to get out your close-up glasses so you can do that. And be able to snip them off, and it's a very simple thing to do. And it just takes time to do this, at least weekly, and to care for your feet. A lot of times we just think of our feet as an attachment and we don't give them a second thought. But they are very important to us, and we want to. I walk 7 to 8 miles a day, and if my feet are hurting, I hurt all over. There's no doubt about it. So allow yourself to take some time to help your feet. Use a pumice stone. Use the olive oil. That'll help in a great way. Have substantial, comfortable fitting shoes. Let go of the high heels. They're going to cause problems with your knees sooner or later, but we have the data showing that. Allow yourself to change your shoes and socks often, and that will make a huge difference in your feet. Absolutely. I know from personal experience, I went from having feet with lots of calluses to baby bottom feet. So it's really good to care for your feet. And like I said, if your feet are not in good shape, you're really going to have problems later on. So allow yourself to take a little time for your feet. And the soles of your feet are very important, and also the soul that we have inside of us is important. I was talking with a man, and he was an individual that cared about no one or nothing. He had beat up a lot of people and was just angry in general. He had tattoos all over his face. It was just a angry, he was late 20s, early 30s young man. And he didn't really have any feelings whatsoever. And then all of a sudden he met this young lady, and they fell in love. And all of a sudden they had a little baby son, and it was remarkable what happened next. All of a sudden he said, you know what, I don't want to be this way anymore. I don't want to be, this kind of person anymore. I love this little baby with all my heart and soul, and I don't think he had that feeling of love ever before in his life. Maybe he didn't have much love in his life as a child, but now he felt that love for this little child that was his. And so he went through the excruciating process of having all those tattoos removed with surgery and with laser treatments. I mean, it looked like his process looked like he got beat up. I mean, it was pretty bad and pretty hard. It took him a long time, a couple years to get it all done, but he eventually removed all those tattoos from his face. And he is the most kindest, gentlest, loving, caring man that I know now. And it's all happened because of one particular thing: love. And I think it's interesting that, little kids, when they're in orphanages and they are not held and cared for and loved, they start rocking themselves back and forth because that's a way of coping with not having love. And I think that's really important. Every single child needs to be loved in a great way, to cared for and cuddled and have the parents, call them endearing names and allowing them to know that they are the most important part of their life and that they are going to be cared for in a great way. And as with most parents, a parent will lay down their life for their child, and then especially mothers, they will go to any length to protect their children. And a child needs that, absolutely, positively. And especially even in gestation, inside the womb, they are picking up the feelings of the mother. If you have a lot of anger going on, the kid picks that up too. The child picks that up. If you have a lot of fear going on, the child picks that up. We know that now. That is all studies. And if we have a lot of stuff going on, and we're drinking and we're doing drugs and we're just not happy in our life and all this different stuff, it's all impinging upon our child. And so love is the answer to healing a lot of the problems of the world, because if we start healing ourselves by giving ourselves love, then we start healing our children even before they're born with love. And so this is a great process to heal the soles of your feet and heal the soul within your being, which is eternal and goes on forever. I mean, we have many studies of people with near-death experiences showing that there's something that happens when we cross that veil. In fact, we had a relative across the street who passed away on Friday, and she had a massive stroke, and even before she fell over, she was gone. But I know that she is up there in heaven, enjoying the bliss and the peace, and everything is great. And she was a person who had that great belief also. So I know without a doubt that Carmen is up there with God, and she's in total total bliss, total love, surrounded with this, great ecstasy of joy and bliss and love. And we will all get there sooner or later, one day too. So if you'd like to get a hold of me, all my work is no charge. We do incur expenses, so we have a lot of expenses. In fact, so if you care to make a donation, that is greatly, greatly appreciated, and you help to keep my work free. I'm at no charge, excuse me. And we actually want to make a difference in everybody's life as much as possible. Whether it be a spiritual thing or an herbal thing or whatever you need, let me know. My phone number is 831-869-9119, 831-869-9119. My email is drpaulhaider@gmail.com. That's drpaulhaider@gmail.com. And my Skype address is drpaulhaider, so you can Skype me, send me an invite. And you can text me and WhatsApp me and all kinds of things. So whatever you need to do, you can go to my Facebook page at drpaulhaider, and up at the top you can get a hold of me there with, in a message, and I'll get right back to you. And also, you can, like I said, email me, especially if you're out of the country in the United States. So email me is the best way. And sometimes email is the best way because on the phone, sometimes it's very difficult to give you all the information. If you're talking about kidney disease, it's a lot of information. Liver disease, a lot of information. So it needs to be expressed in a format where you'll remember it and you go back and look at it also. And remember, I go to bed at 8 p.m. before the chickens. So if you want to get a hold of me, call early, text me early, whatever you'd like to do, WhatsApp me early. And I care about you, want to make a difference in your life. And any way, shape, or form I can do that, you let me know. And also, please watch the little ads. They bring a couple pennies to my wife and I. And we want to make a difference in your life. And I hope you will make a difference in the lives of others by making a donation so we can keep this going and perpetuate a community of loving, caring, giving people who care about the world and want to make a difference and are filled with a great sense of love. So have a great day, and remember to take care of your soles of your feet and the soul within your soul of your being. And remember the most important thing: I love you.